Hey, baseball fans. Welcome back to Tits and Streams, your go-to channel for daily baseball predictions. I'm Koken, and I'm here to give you the inside scoop on today's top matchups. Before we dive into today's picks, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss out on our latest predictions. If you enjoy our content, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends who love baseball and sports betting. Our channel relies entirely on your support. We don't have any sponsors, so every like, share, and comment helps us keep going. If you'd like to support us even more, consider donating by pressing the thanks button under this video. We love hearing from you. Drop a comment below. Your feedback makes our channel better. All right, let's get into today's predictions. Today we have predictions for 3 MLB games. The first prediction for today is for a game between the Kansas City Royals and Cleveland Guardians. The Kansas City Royals and Cleveland Guardians are about to square off in what promises to be a pivotal game in their 4-game series. Both teams have their sights set on the top of the American League Central, with the Guardians looking to solidify their slim division lead and the Royals eager to continue their recent surge. Taking the mound for the Royals is Cole Ragans, who has had a season full of ups and downs. Despite a solid 10-8 record and a respectable 3.31 ERA, Ragans struggled in his last outing against the Angels, giving up 5 runs in 5 innings. He's been notably better on the road, boasting a 2.70 ERA away from home. However, his previous struggles against the Guardians, where he couldn't make it past the 5th inning, raise questions about his ability to perform under pressure. If Ragans can find the form that has made him effective in other starts, he has the potential to keep the Royals competitive in this game. The Guardians will counter with Nick Sandlin as their opener. Sandlin has been a reliable bullpen arm, carrying a 3.88 ERA and a perfect 7-0 record. Though primarily a reliever, Sandlin is expected to deliver a solid start before handing over to Cleveland's bullpen, one of the best in the league. With Emmanuel Clays closing out games with a 0.62 ERA and 37 saves, the Guardians have a distinct advantage if the game is tight in the later innings. Offensively, the Royals have leaned heavily on Bobby Witt Jr., who has been a breakout star this season. Witt leads Kansas City in key offensive metrics, but has struggled against Cleveland, hitting just .205 against them. Meanwhile, Salvador Perez has had more success, batting .297 in his last 10 games against the Guardians, and Vinny Pasquantino has been a consistent run producer, especially in day games. For Cleveland, Jose Ramirez remains the linchpin of their offense. Ramirez has a career .280 average against the Royals, with an impressive 31 home runs. Supporting players like Steven Kwan and Andres Gimenez also contribute consistently, making the Guardians a tough lineup to face, especially against a Royals pitching staff prone to giving up home runs. Historically, the Guardians have dominated this matchup, particularly at Progressive Field, where they've posted a 39-21 record this season. Cleveland's ability to win in day games 28-19 and their strong performance at home give them a psychological edge. The Royals have shown flashes of competitiveness, but have struggled against teams with winning records, making this a tough challenge for them. Environmental factors, such as Progressive Field's dimensions and weather conditions, could favor the Guardians, especially if they can elevate the ball. Cleveland's knack for manufacturing runs and their bullpen depth make them a formidable opponent at home. While the Royals have the potential to make it a close contest, especially if Ragans delivers, the Guardians' ability to finish strong gives them the upper hand. Given these dynamics, the prediction tilts heavily in favor of the Cleveland Guardians on the money line. Their clutch hitting, dominant bullpen, and home field advantage should propel them to a win in this crucial opening game, helping them tighten their grip on the American League Central lead.
Welcome to BetUS, Sportsbook and Casino, your ultimate hub for secure and thrilling sports betting and casino gaming. BetUS is one of the oldest and most reliable online sportsbooks in the U.S., serving millions of clients all over the globe each month. BetUS, trusted for over 30 years, offers huge welcome bonuses, countless betting options, and many deposit and payout methods. Depositing funds is a breeze and safe, with a minimum deposit of just $10. Payouts are fast and hassle-free, beginning at only $50. Choose from various payout options like MoneyGram, couriered check, cryptocurrency, or bank wire. Signing up is quick and easy. For signing up, you can use the link in the description and enjoy a generous 125% welcome bonus of up to $3,000. By signing up using the link in the description, you'll also support us as we earn a small commission from your registration at BetUS. Thank you for supporting us. Join now and start winning.
The second prediction for today is for a game between the Atlanta Braves and Minnesota Twins. The Minnesota Twins and Atlanta Braves are set for an intense showdown at Target Field, a game with significant implications as both teams are vying for critical spots in their respective divisions. The Braves, usually dominant in the National League East, find themselves in an unusual position this season, trailing the Phillies and dealing with injuries to key players like Ronald Acuna Jr. Despite these hurdles, the Braves have managed to remain competitive, with a recent winning streak closing the gap. Meanwhile, the Twins are navigating the challenging waters of the American League Central, locked in a tight race with the Royals as they push for a wild-card berth. On the mound, we have an intriguing pitching duel, Max Fried for the Braves and Bailey Ober for the Twins. Fried, a left-hander who's been a staple in Atlanta's rotation, hasn't been his usual dominant self this season. His ERA is higher than normal, and his whip has risen, suggesting he's been more vulnerable to hitters. His recent struggles on the road are particularly worrisome. Giving up 15 runs in his last 4 outings doesn't bode well, especially against a Twins lineup that has been tough on lefties. Fried's inconsistency might just be the opportunity Minnesota needs to seize. On the flip side, Bailey Ober has been a revelation at home. The towering right-hander boasts an impressive 7-1 record with a 2.78 ERA at Target Field, consistently keeping hitters off balance with a varied pitch mix and sharp command. Ober has shown resilience, bouncing back from tough starts and delivering when the Twins need him most. His ability to limit damage and keep the ball in the park will be crucial against a Braves lineup that, while talented, has struggled to string together consistent offensive performances. Looking at the offenses, Minnesota seems to have the upper hand, especially in this matchup. The Twins are hitting .253 as a team, with a .323 on-base percentage, and they've proven they can handle left-handed pitching. Led by Willie Castro and Ryan Jeffers, with veteran support from Carlos Correa and Max Kepler, the Twins have the firepower to challenge Fried early and often. Meanwhile, the Braves, despite having big bats like Marcell Ozuna and Ozzie Albies, have been less consistent at the plate, particularly in recent weeks. They're averaging just over 4 runs per game, but their production dips noticeably when they're away from Truist Park. Defense and bullpen play are additional areas where the Twins might find an edge. Minnesota's bullpen, with a team whip of 1.17, has been reliable in closing out games, especially at home. In contrast, the Braves' bullpen has been solid, but not without its flaws, and they could be exposed if Fried doesn't last deep into the game. Historically, the Braves have struggled at Target Field, losing their last 4 games here against National League East opponents after a loss. The Twins, on the other hand, have shown grit, particularly in night games, where they've often jumped out to early leads and maintained them. Recent trends favor Minnesota, and given the stakes, expect them to be fully locked in from the first pitch. Injuries are always an X-factor in these late-season battles, and with Travis d'Arnaud and Jorge Soler both questionable for the Braves, Atlanta's lineup could be thinner than usual. The Twins, relatively healthy, will look to exploit any weaknesses in the Braves roster, making every at-bat count. Considering all these factors, Ober's dominance at home, Fried's road struggles, Minnesota's strength against lefties, and the recent head-to-head history, the smart pick is the Twins. They have the momentum, the pitching advantage, and the home field edge, all pointing to a win for the home team. The third prediction for today is for a game between the Tampa Bay Rays and Seattle Mariners. The Tampa Bay Rays and Seattle Mariners are set to square off in what promises to be a tight, low-scoring showdown at T-Mobile Park in Seattle. With both teams essentially out of playoff contention, this game is all about pride and personal achievements rather than post-season implications. But don't be mistaken, there's still plenty at stake for the players on both sides, and this matchup is poised to be a true test of resilience, particularly for the pitchers taking the mound. The Rays, currently at 65-64, have had a season filled with ups and downs. Their offense has been one of the weakest in the league, ranking 28th in runs scored per game, but their pitching staff has kept them in the hunt. Tampa Bay has made a habit of surprising people, clawing their way back into relevance after a rough start to the year. They're not a team to be underestimated, and their recent performances suggest they're not ready to roll over just yet. Taking the ball for the Rays is Ryan Pipiot, a right-hander who's quietly put together a strong season with a 7-5 record and a 3.65 ERA. Pipiot has been on fire recently, allowing just 3 earned runs over his last 23 innings. His command has been sharp, and he's kept the ball in the yard, an important factor when pitching in the spacious T-Mobile Park. In his previous start against Seattle earlier this year, Pepiot was dominant, giving up just 1 run on 1 hit, while striking out 8 over 5.1 innings. If Pepiot is on his game, the Mariners lineup, which has struggled against right-handers, could be in for a long night. The Mariners, now sitting at 65-65, have seen their season unravel after once leading the AL West. Their offense has been their downfall, ranking 27th in runs scored and 28th in OPS. Despite a strong start to the year, they've stumbled badly in the second half, dropping 9 of their last 11 games. The recent firing of their manager, Scott Servais, highlights the turmoil within the organization. Bryce Miller, who will start for Seattle, has been one of the few bright spots. The young right-hander has posted a 9-7 record with a 3.32 ERA, but like Pepiot, he's been better at home, boasting a 2.09 ERA at T-Mobile Park. However, Miller has struggled against the Rays in the past, allowing a 7.56 ERA in 2 starts last season. Seattle's offensive struggles have been compounded by the lack of production from key players like Julio Rodriguez, who has found it difficult to carry the team on his young shoulders. The rest of the lineup hasn't offered much help, slashing an anemic 195, 307, 268 over the last week. On the flip side, while the Rays haven't been much better, they have been slightly more productive, hitting .203, .259, 351 during the same span. Brandon Lowe and Yandy Diaz have been 2 of the more reliable bats for Tampa Bay, and they'll need to step up if the Rays hope to push across enough runs against Miller. Both bullpens have been strong recently, with the Rays' pen posting a 3.38 ERA over the last week, while the Mariners have been even better with a 2.66 ERA. This suggests that runs will be hard to come by, and the game could easily be decided by a single mistake or a timely hit. One intriguing aspect to watch is how the Rays' depth and versatility will play against a Mariners team that's heavily reliant on a few key players. Tampa Bay has always prided itself on getting contributions from every corner of its roster, and that could be the difference in a game where both teams are struggling offensively. The Rays' ability to mix and match, especially in the later innings, might just give them the edge they need. In the end, this game looks like it will be a tight, low-scoring affair, with both starters likely to keep things close. However, given Pepiot's recent form and his success against the Mariners earlier this season, combined with the Rays' slight edge in offense and superior depth, I'm leaning towards Tampa Bay pulling this one out. Miller's struggles against Tampa Bay last year, along with the Mariners' overall lack of firepower, make the Rays a solid pick for the win.